Yo, what's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I had to go live right away because the football games are going to kick off. Kwame Brown was live. I'm like, man, I was in Kwame's live. I had to dip out, get over here to this. Man, this is crazy. Everything's going down. There's a lot of information flying around here, and one of the biggest information drops of the day happened, and I was like, how did I miss this? This professional poker player, who happens to be one of the biggest poker players in the world, and this guy is so good at poker that you wouldn't even believe it. He comes through and basically expose everything that's going on. And he did it 2 years ago. He exposed Chauncey Billups 2 years ago. Kid you not.
You had the magic sets when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Sending the Lucky Charms post box or whatever.
Yeah, the barcode, and then you send it in and you get your little toy.
God, kids are so manipulated.
Man, to touch on Benny real quick,
Listen to this.
Just like his attitude at the game, he was always just like so semi-happy, semi-grumpy, and like, man, I would have never thought we were being cheated by this man this whole time. Like if he didn't just like completely smash the game,
Played the shit reg to a T.
Right?
Let's talk about it.
the absolute perfect shit, right?
No one knows Orsino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them.
4 years ago, where there was this game. It started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, "Look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up." And I was like, "Well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up."
Yeah.
And
Now, let that sink in. This man says, I know 100% this game is not on the up and up. Like, I'm telling you, 100% this game is not on the up and up. How crazy is that? This is 2 years ago. This podcast you see here is 2 years ago. This man just told you and named it, said the game has been going on for 4 or 5 years. See, the feds had all this.
cheating's bad, okay?
It is.
There are a lot of stories about it. There's one that cropped up. This must have been like 5 years ago, 2019-ish, I think, 4 years ago, where there was this game. It started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, "Look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up." And I was like, "Well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up."
Yeah.
And we kind of went back and forth, and I agreed that like I just wasn't going to go play it, but I had some friends who went and played it both in LA and in Vegas, and it obviously like was for sure confirmed to be cheated. Mm-hmm. Like people who clearly didn't even understand the rules of No Limit Hold'em are just like jamming hundreds of big blinds in with like a gutty and then just drilling it.
Yeah.
Only the pros are losing. Like,
how is it figured out? Like, it just
I can't remember if this was the game where
no over
What?
the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that was Peart.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still. I mean, it's not like Chauncey and Pierce don't know each other. You know. I feel like it's probably the same crowd overlapping there.
Gotcha.
But maybe not. Either way, it was basically confirmed amongst all of the pros that the game was cheated, but there's just no recourse.
Gotcha.
And they got absolutely flayed.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no recourse in a lot of these situations.
Well, it's tough too whenever you're dealing with somebody like high profile like that because they carry a lot of weight and hold a lot of power. So all you can do is like kind of unite together and threaten to publicly out him or extort him in some sort of capacity. In which case, good luck.
Yeah.
It's like this guy beat rape charges. You think he cares about you calling him a cheater?
Yeah, I mean, and like from other aspects, like most people that are.
Well, he cares now because the feds is on the back. His name is surfaced again because he's on the list. If you're on my Patreon, I gave you a list of all the names that might be called, and Scott Foster's on that list. On that same list I did on the Patreon, I told you the government was going to have to speak to Adam Silver. And right after I made that list and put it on the Patreon, because Adam Silver's on that list. And what happened right after that, Patreons? If any of my Patreon is up here, y'all already know. Some of y'all just getting up and getting ready for the game, but y'all already know what time it was. If y'all saw that, y'all already know what was going on. Well, to me, it's it's a similar situation when you see all the players that are involved and you start saying to yourself, oh, well, we might have to do something a little different. Yeah, well, it is what it is. So what you really want to do in this situation is to try to find a way to navigate, because all of the things or the details that the feds have is now leaking out. You think the feds don't have this video? It's from 2 years ago. So mainly they're going to have information related to this all the way to its core. There's so many people involved in these scenarios that each one is representative of the identity of the next person. I believe that there are a lot of people that are going to pretty much push the envelope, or what they say, the narrative. They're going to say, oh, well, I feel like I can get this done, or, oh, no, I feel like I can get this much done. They're going to push that narrative. Now I believe in the magnet ball. You should have been believed in the magnet ball. People's been telling you for years they're not going to allow betting to go on. I'm placing bets right now. It's not going to stop anything. If you think you could, it's a fix, but you think you can bet past the fix, you're going to do that. Because that's what people do. people try to make a what you would call a best case scenario for themselves and said, "Oh no, we can get that." Well, some people will, agree to disagree. Man, there's only so much you could do. It's only so much you could do in that scenario. It's all fixed. Common sense isn't common. Yeah, but like he said in this scenario, like that's a very dangerous scenario to be in. Why would you spend your money on something you know is rigged? Because you're good. You want to bet with the fix. You want to align your bets with what you believe the fix is in. If I know something is fixed and I know the way they think, you know the way you can bet. You say, well, I know how to bet this because I know how these fools think. What's up, True Light? My member. True Light joined the membership. That's a member. Oh, it's so many different people in there, so many different ways. You're dealing with people that are, in a disagreement all the time. They're in disarray. They don't have any wherewithal about anything that they're doing. They're just saying, okay, well, let's move in this progressive manner and hopefully something good comes out of it. Then you have other people who get involved in situations and try to find ways to make a play for themselves rather than the betterment of everything else. And to even make it worse for Chauncey, because things is looking real bad for Chauncey Billups right now. And I was just like, man, it's getting worse and worse for this dude. You got Chicago Bulls games being brought to the spotlight because of this. I mean, it's not even just that game. That's one of the games that they brought up against the Portland Trailblazers back when they was tanking. They were, I think, down 7 points. They had cut it to 5. They were on their way. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he decides to bench like the star player, his 2 highest scoring players were benched in the last 5 minutes of the game. The guy had like 36 points and he benched him. Like for no reason, pulled him and the other guy out of the game. Now, this wouldn't even matter, but it was heavy money betted on that game for some reason. But if they were tanking, then you would understand it, because they decided, hey, we're going to tank. No. Those narratives have never came around and they never stayed. Well, there's a lot of people who were going back and forth and trolling each other about it. But if you look at everybody is crazy. These LeBron fans are crazy. Michael Jordan was gambling. Not illegally, fool. He wasn't illegally gambling. Jordan gambled. He played cards on his own accord. Jordan has his own games. But when you see Gary Payton Jr. doing what he's doing, that's going to raise suspicion. Well, it's a lot at stake going on right now. I mean, a lot at stake. Everything starts to feel like the first day of school sometimes, because if this gets back to all the people that everybody's assuming, where is that going to leave Clutch Sports? Where is that going to leave everybody that's in the way? Right. Where would that leave Clutch Sports? Because if this thing gets real ugly, Clutch Sports is going to look real different. And LeBron James is going to get caught in the crossfire. And if this gets back to him, everything falls down. No, I think they know it. Well, that's the nature of it. That's how it works. Now, when he said that about Chauncey Billups 2 years ago, saying that the games was moving around for 4 years ago, he's a professional poker player. So this is what they do on a regular day. The NBA gambling crisis hit Chicago Bulls. And once it did that, it opened up Pandora's box.
Investigates has learned a Chicago Bulls basketball game in 2023 is among those used by alleged crooked gamblers with inside information to produce a sizable illegal payday. Our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy here now with details of their arrest in a major NBA mafia investigation.
A lot of layers to this story, Stefan, in a sport where the biggest stars have been known as Magic, King James, Dr. J. Tonight, the names making news are Juice, Flapper, and Pookie, all nicknames better suited for federal prison, where the government is planning to send them. 34 people under arrest tonight, including more than a dozen mobsters charged in 2 plots using insider information to rig NBA game bets and running high-stakes poker games featuring NBA stars, in which the card players were simply cheated. March 24th, 2023, mafia-connected gamblers obtained inside information that several Portland Trailblazer players would sit out the game against the Chicago Bulls, and they bet more than $100,000 accordingly, changing the wager line, yielding major winnings, according to federal law enforcement. Portland coach and NBA Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups among those facing federal charges tonight, along with Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and former NBA star Damon Jones. This Chicago Bulls game among several in an organized crime conspiracy in which current and former NBA players provided inside information to mob-tied gamblers.
Whether you're faking an injury or you're purposely missing or you're, whatever you're doing, or you're missing a game that you were supposed to play in, there's a lot of different very subtle things that these players can do to manipulate the final score, or more importantly, to manipulate these prop bets.
Organized crime expert Jeff Schumacher tonight discussing an alleged conspiracy that stretches from coast to coast and includes Las Vegas, where he oversees exhibits at the well-known Mob Museum. Schumacher says today's takedown by the FBI, linking 4 of New York's mafia families with NBA players, coaches, and its game structure, is stunning for many reasons, including this X-ray card table allowing criminals to identify cards even when they're face down. But the sheer audacity of millionaire athletes is most surprising.
These are individuals who make good money as professional athletes and or coaches, and I'm not sure why they would get to find themselves involved in something like this, even though the total money that was taken allegedly exceeds $7 million. I mean, that's less than 1 year's salary for an NBA player, so to me it's not clear why they got involved. I think it is certainly dangerous anytime you're dealing with the mafia in any way.
NBA personnel arrested in today's FBI operation have been suspended by the league. They were known within illicit poker circles as, quote, face cards, signaling the draw that big-time pro athletes provided to such a speakeasy-style business. This kind of inside information has always been the holy grail of unholy gamblers and crooked traders. Sometimes they get away with it. Tonight, almost 3 dozen have not, and they're all parading into court the next few days.
Now, when you see this happen, and this was in Chicago, they mentioned it only a little bit about that game. But if you find the details of that game, you'll find out that it's a lot more intense than what you expect. Now, I have seen and been in the presence of big time gambling, but this was at the casino. So they use pretty much the same system when they come to making their decisions. Like, it's not, what they're really doing is opening up the business. And you get to learn about how the casino knows what everybody has in their hands. So what this is telling me is, because the guys are saying it, the guys who are gambling are saying it just as clear as day. Like, wait a minute, this is the same machines that the casinos use. We're just using it and making our own casino, basically. We're having poker games and illegal poker games where there's counting machines that are fixed and everything else. Well, it's a huge problem at that point. when there's $200,000 going down. Now, the NBA, in order to survive, when they see how deep this goes, and they start seeing what is this really all about, back in the 80s, Mark Jackson and Charles Barkley was fined for doing an interview for betting each other on the court. He bet him $5,000 that he could hit this shot, and then he bet him $5,000 he would come down and hit another shot. And they talked about it on the air in the interview in a playoff game, and David Stearns is like, he didn't suspend him, he just fined both of them for gambling and admitting to gambling. You're not even supposed to make a bet. You're not even allowed to do that. They didn't even know. They got your coach. Yeah, I mean, Chauncey is our homeboy. Like, that's one of our guys. That's Uno. We don't call him Chauncey. We call him Uno. And I was like, oh, my God, Uno's gone. And, you know, I got to call the people that know him, like my cousin and everything. That's why I got him on the wall. And the pictures, autographs, and everything. That was right after they eliminated the Bulls. Now, when the professional player came back and told y'all the story and laid it out in that format, he had did this 2 years ago. He didn't think nothing of it. And now the feds have all his information to corroborate everything that's going on, because he knew not to go into those games because he heard of it. He's a professional player. Look, he's telling you what the games was built around.
I think when I was a kid, had it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, and like remember they would just like
remember when
like
I used to beat you,
toys. Like,
Berkey, all the time?
You could have like invisible ink.
I remember
when
the
you were a
kind
kid,
where
like, and
where you
could-
could like write and then get it wet, and it would show the
up.
message. Yeah,
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
yeah. I don't know. You had those magic sets when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Sending the Lucky Charms post box or whatever.
Yeah, the barcode, and then you send it
Yeah.
in, and you get your little toy.
God, kids are so manipulated.
Man, to touch on Benny real quick, that, like just like his attitude at the game, he was always just like so.
Hopefully they get
Semi-happy,
Oh,
semi-grumpy.
they get LeBron. Oh,
Like-
the internet is going for
Man, I would have never thought we were being cheated by this
It
man
would take
this whole
the
time.
federal
Like if you
government
didn't just like completely
to
smash
get
the game.
Playing
LeBron.
the shit reg to a T.
Right.
Yeah, like the absolute perfect shit reg.
yeah.
Man, interesting.
Yeah, cheating's bad. Okay.
It is.
There are a lot of stories about it. There's one that cropped up. This must have been like 5 years ago, 2019-ish, I think, 4 years ago. Where there was this game. It started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. And I had heard about the game, and the person who told me about it was like, "Look, I know the game runners. I'm telling you 100% this game is on the up and up." And I was like, "Well, I know a lot of the people that are involved, and I'm telling you 100% that it is not on the up and up."
Yeah.
And we kind of went back and forth, and I agreed that like I just wasn't going to go play it, but I had some friends who went and played it both in LA and in Vegas, and it obviously like was for sure confirmed to be cheated.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who clearly didn't even understand the rules of No Limit Hold'em are just like jamming hundreds of big blinds in with like a gutty. And then just drilling it.
Yeah.
Only the pros are losing. Like,
How is it figured out? Like it just.
I can't remember if this was the game where.
No. Over
What?
the loudspeaker?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that was Peart.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still. I mean, it's not like Chauncey and Pierce don't know each other. You know, I feel like it's probably the same crowd overlapping there,
Gotcha.
but maybe not. Either way, it was basically confirmed amongst all of the pros that the game was cheated, but there's just no recourse.
Gotcha.
And they got absolutely flayed.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no recourse in a lot of these situations.
It's tough too whenever you're dealing with somebody like high profile like that, because they carry a lot of weight and hold a lot of power. So all you can do is like kind of unite together and threaten to publicly out him or extort him in some sort of capacity.
And that's what happened. These guys were losing their money, and these professional players and the people that play couldn't believe that the games was on the up and up, but all of the professional players are losing. That's why he knew not to get in, because he knew the people that was involved and knew it wouldn't be a game on the up and up. See, it's a difference from being a poker player and somebody who plays poker. This is why I always use that analogy. Poker players, they see everything. They know who's going to be there. They're reading to see if somebody's giving tells and signs. Somebody playing poker, they just look at the cards to see what all they got and try to make a best hand. They just see what's in front of them. Yeah, it's a massive difference. So that's what he was bringing to the forefront. Like, no, they'll have to get together and complain about it. Now, they were building the games around Chauncey to bring in more NBA players and things of that nature. So he was what they call the face card, like the guy said. Now, I'm going to let you guys listen to an ex-mobster, which means that he's cooperated with federal informants.
Millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery.
This is the perfect storm. The NBA kicked off last night, and now they have the biggest scandal in its history, perhaps the biggest scandal in sports history. A Hall of Famer and a star player wrapped up in a massive gambling ring orchestrated by the mafia, and it comes out of a time when gambling in America has exploded. Americans are now spending almost $72 billion a year betting on sports. And sports betting is no longer just who wins or loses. It's on who makes a shot, who throws a pitch, who sinks a putt. For the NBA, who makes the first three-point basket, how many rebounds you get. You can bet on anything and everything inside the game. And that, according to this indictment by the FBI, the mafia is now able to control those prop bets by getting actually to the players. One of the indicted today is Terry Rozier, an NBA All-Star who's earned an estimated $160 million in his career. You would think that would be someone with that much money that would not need to get involved with the mob. But this shows just how powerful these forces still are in America. In a moment, George Will, the man whose knowledge of sports and sports betting spans decades, with us now, someone who knows exactly how the mafia gets to people. Robert Borelli, former member of the Gambino family, just came out with his new book, The Witness, a tale of the life and death of a mafia madman. Mr. Borelli, good to see you, sir. Thank you. Help us understand, how does the mob get to somebody who makes $160 million in their career and get them to throw it all away based on how many three-point baskets he's going to shoot?
You know, my thought process for that would probably be that maybe they knew that he was a gambler. Maybe he gambled once before. They knew caught word of it. But, you know, the Bible says the root of all evil is the love of money. So the love of money is the root of all evils. So no matter how much you make, a little bit more never hurts. So how long has this been going on, and how does the mob get involved in something that is otherwise, at times, a legal operation now that you can bet on sports on your phone no matter where you're at? Well, because gambling is a big thing. You know, that's what we did most of our lives in the beginning, you know, before they did the lottery, before they did OTB betting. I mean, people came to us to gamble when they couldn't go to the racetracks or place a number or something like that because it wasn't legal at that point in time. So gambling's been a big thing. And you go back into probably the 20s and the 30s of the 1900s.
Stunning what has happened. Robert Borelli, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
Now, what you're seeing right there is a microcosm of the problem that's going on right there. Everybody's got a book. Everybody's a rat. And now, if you're a rat, everything is great for you. They don't even care. You come out, you get a book, you get everything going for you. I'm like, man, look at that. The dude rat come back and get everything. That's how it works. Oh, no. They don't. See, no. Well, Roger Goodell spoke at the meeting to all the owners to make sure they get everybody get in on all the players and make sure that they don't have this problem. Because they know what time it is. The writing has been on the walls. But if you're not doing the right things, then this is forever going to be the outcome. You got Tim Donnelly, who cheated the Sacramento Kings and other people out of the games, and he gets to walk out of jail because he was getting upset he was in jail. And then when they had him in jail, they came and basically got him out. And he was in an easy jail. Like, he could walk out and basically leave it if he wanted to. He'll get 5 more years, but then, you know, there it is. Well, being in this game is difficult. There's so many people that try to destroy you in this game that it's never going to be a good out for you. That Chicago Bulls game is talked about a lot, especially here. How the Bulls was losing the lead, and basically they got let off the hook. Yeah, well, it's a little different. They're trying to break down the entire scandal and find out what is the new direction. Well, yeah, because naturally you want to, what they say, prove your worth. You want to prove your worth. You want to say, hey, I know what I'm doing. But this thing is going to blow up even bigger when they start adding the other names.
In the NBA.
I'm ashamed that those guys will put their families and their careers in jeopardy.
Chauncey Billups, a Hall of Fame player and current coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and Terry Rozier of the Miami Heat, both seen leaving court. They're among more than 30 people arrested, accused of running schemes that made millions by allegedly rigging sports bets and poker games. Billups and another former player, Damon Jones, are accused of working with the mafia, using their celebrity status to lure wealthy people to illegal poker games that were rigged.
Everybody else at the poker game, from the dealer to the players, including the face cards, were in on the scam.
The technology allegedly used in the scheme is like something out of Mission Impossible. The FBI says the suspects used special glasses and contact lenses that could read invisible markings on cards. Casino security expert Sal Piasante showed us some of the technology.
I can't tell you what that top card is, but if I pop in contact lenses, or if I'm wearing my poker glasses, when you look at that card through that filter, you'll see what that card is.
The FBI says the suspects also used card shufflers that were rigged and used what's described as an X-ray poker table that allowed them to see face-down cards through the felt on the table. They also allegedly used what's known as an analyzer. It looks like a cell phone, but when placed in front of a deck of cards, it uses a hidden camera to determine which player will win, no matter how well the deck is shuffled.
This deck is marked invisibly on the side with a barcode. So when this deck gets shuffled and gets placed onto the table, this camera right now is scanning those cards, and it's going to tell you automatically who's going to win.
The device correctly predicting the hand closest to the device will win.
And you win with a full house, 3s and 5s.
Experts say the sophisticated scheme shows that the mafia has modernized.
Everyone talks about the mafia getting smaller, going away. Mafia doesn't go away. They will change based upon the law and how they can make money.
In a separate indictment, Rozier was charged in connection with an illegal sports gambling scheme.
Terry Rozier, right foot discomfort, doubtful to return.
Prosecutors say during this game in 2023, Rozier, then with the Hornets, tipped off bettors that he would fake an injury and exit the game. Bettors placed more than $200,000 on him to underperform in the game.
The proceeds were later delivered to his home, where the group counted their cash.
Rozier and Billups deny the allegations, their lawyers vowing to fight in court. With both men making millions in salary with their teams, many are wondering what would have been their motive to get involved in such a scheme.
How much more do you need? Especially if you know you get caught, you can do jail time, lose your career. You know, put a bad image on yourself or your family.
We have to realize gambling is an addiction. So the addiction of it is what makes you make illogical decisions. Ain't got nothing to do with addiction. That's just total stupidity on these two dudes' parts.
Now, the NBA previously investigated Rozier for that 2023 incident, but cleared him. Now, the league says it is cooperating with this investigation. As for Damon Jones, he has not responded to the allegations.
The sprawling FBI probe into mafia-linked gambling and sports rigging schemes is sending shockwaves across the NBA and across the United States. You're looking right now at the high-tech cheating technology that federal officials allege was used to rig poker games, an X-ray poker table to see through face-down cards, a manipulated shuffling machine to predict who gets the best hand, used, officials say, to steal millions from victims. Joining us now is casino game protection and cheating expert Sal Piasante. Sal, an X-ray table, card reading chip trays, rigged shuffling machines. I didn't know this stuff existed. I guess I'm not surprised, but I didn't know it existed. Can you explain how any of this equipment is used?
Oh, I can explain all of it. The X-ray table, that's just a table that has cameras built into it that look upward at the cards. It can actually see through the green felt, so you can use any of cards. As long as the cards lie above the camera can see what that card is and then transmit it. The shuffle machines, we just did a special on YouTube, and where a shuffle machine was hacked. What happens is the Deckmate 2 has a camera in it. And what that camera does, it notifies the casino or the dealer or the house if a card is missing. Also, if you took a deck of cards and put it into that machine, the cameras know every card and can actually sort that deck out and put it back in order for you for the next day or the next play. Well, the cheaters came up with ways of utilizing that camera as well to know what cards are being dealt and who's getting them. And that shuffle machine is altered to transmit to an earpiece to tell the people who are going to win. Also, there are machines that were also designed to do a false shuffle, where when the cheaters put the deck into the machine, it sounds like the cards are being shuffled, but they're not. And then as far as the analyzer, the tray, This has been around for a long time. It's not new by no means. If you want to see a quick example of it, it could be built into the tray or it's built into a cell phone. And basically what happens is this. You could take this deck of cards. Well, first of all, this is a regular phone. It looks like a regular phone. Put your SIM card in it, and it acts like a regular phone. But when I put in a code, now it becomes a cheating phone. So let's go to Texas Hold'em. How many players? Let's say you can name any amount. We'll say 3 to keep it easy. 3 players. And I'm going to put this on loud so you can hear it. So I'm going to put it on speaker.
Okay.
And now it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So when this deck of cards right now is shuffled, it could be in a shuffle machine. It doesn't make a difference. When the dealer takes them out and cuts them, listen to the phone. 3-2. That means right now, seat 3 is going to win. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ace 5 is winning. Here's your burn. There's your flop. 2 pair. Burn, flop, burn, and C3 wins. This phone will tell you who's going to win. You heard it out loud, but this phone would also transmit to an earpiece.
Yeah.
This system could
can I just
also
ask
be
you
designed.
Yeah.
Anything.
But the earpiece thing, is that also relevant for the camera under the table that can read through the felt? Because the dealer is not under the table. He's not seeing it. So somebody else is seeing these images and speaking to the dealer or whomever in their earpiece. Is that right?
Correct. That's right. That information is transmitted elsewhere, and that person receiving the information sends it back. And the earpiece, believe me, is very tiny. This is one of the earpieces that I demonstrate. I don't know if you can see that.
You got to move the camera. Hold it up a little bit. Oh my God.
That's it.
That's pretty teeny.
So right
that's
before
like a 1
they go
milligram
onto the
pill.
game. Oh, totally. And it goes right into the ear. So now, right now, that earpiece is right next to my eardrum. If you were talking to me, sitting right next to me, you could look in. You can't see it. When my partner's talking to me, I hear it so loud. And there's only one way to get that out right now. Magnet.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh my God, yeah, because otherwise it's going to go in forever and cause you depth perception problems. Sal Piasanti, I could do 6 hours with you on this. This is fascinating. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your expertise.
Joining me now, James Whelan, Executive Director of the Tennessee Institute for Gambling Education and Research, also Editor-in-Chief of the Journal of Gambling Studies. Good to have you here. First, let's talk about this case. 11 states, active NBA coach, NBA player, working on inside information, I mean, including, information on LeBron James's injuries, right? I mean, it's quite remarkable. Unprecedented in terms of the extent of this?
Oh, not at all. This has existed for over 100 years. We think about the famous Black Sox story, the 1960s, the NIT, but very recently we've heard a number of stories where there are players, coaches, those involved with pro leagues and college leagues who've broken the rules.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm thinking of the baseball players, right? I mean, you had active pitchers, right, on the Cleveland Indians who were taking part in this kind of thing. It just strikes me, been watching this for some time, given all the money involved in sports gambling today and how widely it's promoted. I watch a lot of sports. I mean, gambling is like plugged into the coverage of it, right? Should we be surprised that you see this kind of illegal activity?
I would say not. I think that the cultural evolution around sports betting and how now gambling is part of every conversation. It used to be that people talked about sports, the numbers, the percentages, the hitting, the points, but now they talk about the lines, the over-under. But it's just not people generally. It's actually the commentators. It's the networks. It's social media that you can't separate out. It's the gamification of sports that they're now one and the same thing. So it's not surprising.
I mean, I'm wondering why pro sports, the government aren't seeing the risk and enacting restrictions, because obviously it affects the integrity of the game, right? I mean, that's the concern here. And yet the NCAA just approved a rule change that allows athletes and athletic staff to bet on professional sports. I mean, what are they thinking?
Yeah, I think that the leagues, including the NCAA, gets a lot of benefit from a greater viewership, greater revenues related to the ability to allow or be close to betting and gambling, and so that connectedness between those two industries are such that people aren't paying attention to the risk. They may spoil everything because the integrity of the sport is what is going to drive things in the end. People stop, we know from lots of research, when people stop believing in something, they turn sour on it, they'll turn away.
Yeah.
It's inherent that the leagues need to find a different voice here.
You hear from some folks who defend sports gambling that the technology is so great that the leagues can easily identify suspicious activity, as they did to some degree here, right? They looked at a big jump in betting in a short period of time on one player's over-under, and they're like, hey, wait a second, something bad's happening here. I mean, is that true, that the technology is good enough that you can see this stuff when it happens?
Yeah, it's not clear. That technology is kind of behind a curtain. So it's very hard to figure out whether they're catching them or whether or not there's a lot going on and they're just catching the most blatant of the experiences. It's completely not clear.
Yeah, I'm sure, because the gamblers have a big incentive to get ahead of the technology, right? Got to spread their bets around. James Whelan, thanks so much for joining us. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, the morality of what's going on has eroded over time as greed maybe takes over from how to maintain integrity.
Yep, and you hear a lot of young kids getting in it too, right? I mean, it happens. Ed Whelan, thanks so much for joining.
Oh, there you have it. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to take a nap and get ready for this game. Go Bears, go.